Hello everyone, welcome to NintenDormant, the podcast where we discuss Nintendo games that have been left on the shelf. I'm your host George Banks, and we're joined this week by our resident guests John and Josh, but also, for the first time, a live episode with our patrons. Hello everyone.
Hi patrons.
Hello,
hello,
patrons.
Hello. Obviously you can only hear our voices,
yes.
but they're all here. We're
They're all
chatting
here,
away.
they're watching.
Very happy. We're going to see if they're going to dominate in the quiz this week, and also there will be the board firing off questions after our pitch. So, John, Josh, how are you feeling answering to a larger group of people than just us?
Wow, we're already covering a topic that I'm not that familiar with, so I feel like my little chance of doing well is scattershot.
It's going to be. You always come up with a genius pitch. How are you feeling, John?
This guy is always like, oh, I don't think I know anything about video games. And then he just dominates every possible quiz there is. So
yeah,
I'm not. I've played a lot of games in this series, and I'm not confident against this guy.
All right. Well, I mean, Josh claims he's never played Trauma Center, but he is the Nintendo Encyclopedia, so I imagine he's probably at least read up on it a bit. A game we should talk about, though. So I think you posted, Josh, over on BlueSky, that you completed F-Zero GX.
Ah, yeah, the story mode, somehow. Through
Good God.
blood, sweat, and tears. I was actually playing it just before, because I haven't unlocked the AX Cup yet.
Right.
And I haven't unlocked all the races yet. But that, even just playing Grand Prix is a trial.
Yeah.
I swear.
It's an absolute slog. Do you ever complete it, John?
Years ago, yeah.
Right.
I thought I was going to do it again on the Switch, and it hasn't happened yet.
I did fire it up briefly, and I just thought, oh no, my reactions are
I
just
think
shocked.
I'd rather not right now. But...
Yeah. See, as a kid, I had an action replay, and so I just used that to unlock everything. So I never actually beat the story mode. I think the furthest I ever got was the speed level, where you can't drop speed. And if you do, your car explodes. It's like the 6th chapter or something like that.
Literally the film Speed, right?
Yeah, literally the film Speed. But this time, I actually found that to be one of the easier levels to do. What I found is that some of the story mode missions, the ones that basically don't involve a race, like beating Samurai Goro to the end, destroying Michael Chain and his gang, and the speed mission, are actually like, they have a pattern to them, and once you realise the pattern, it's like, oh, actually, this isn't too bad. Like Michael Chain, no matter what you do, you can't. The game will physically not let you catch him until the very final straight.
Yeah.
So you don't really, even on very hard mode, those 3 missions I named specifically because they've actually done their story modes on very hard.
I love this. I love that Josh is basically just casually saying he's reached God mode. Like, oh well, I could have caught him, but the game literally won't let me. Yeah.
Like he physically won't let you do it. So you just, once you realise that, you're just like, oh, okay, I'll just keep calm, and then I'll panic when I'm at the end of the stat track instead. Like the speed mission, the one I struggled on as a kid, turns out like Captain Falcon's, even his smallest speed is still higher by default than what you will, even on the very hard mode, will explode. So as long as you keep calm and don't use any of your boost, like the big cars move out of your way for you.
Yeah.
And there's no turn that's too tight, at least if you know how to drift. So it's only once you get to the very end where you're forced to use boost across the rubble. Like if you don't have enough boost there, you just lose.
Yeah.
So knowing you don't need to boost, knowing you're not in a rush to get to the end, it's actually a lot easier until you do the boost, because the boost, the amount you need, will take you down to like the minimal amount of health.
The problem is
then it's just making sure you don't hit a wall at that point.
I'm too competitive to sort of work that strategy in. I'm one of those people in a fighting game. I never sort of block or do anything like that. It's just all out attack, and I just get
pure
wrecked.
aggression.
Yeah. How untapped is the roster as well for F-Zero? They've got such brilliant characters. Are there any that stand out in your mind, John? Because like it's been a while since I've played it, but I've still got quite a few in my head that I'm really fond of, actually.
Yeah. Little mantis guy, little green guy. What was his name, Josh?
Oh,
mantis
guy. Little guy.
Yeah, with the orange suit. He's one of the originals, isn't he?
Yeah, Pico. He's a turtle.
Pico.
Yeah, Pico's a turtle. Yeah. Now, the roster for F-Zero GX is weird. Something that I only found out recently, and I was actually showing my housemates before this podcast. If you do master difficulty, which I've not done, I've not even unlocked it, with a character without having any customizable equipment on their car, because you can customize your vehicles in GX. If you do it purely vanilla with a character on the hardest difficulty, you unlock like a 30-second cutscene.
What? Okay,
of that character, and every single character has one, and they are some of the strangest things I've ever seen.
That's because nobody's mad enough to unlock them. Who does
I know.
that?
They've always got songs in the background that are like F-Zero.
Well, like
F-Zero.
you joke, but every single character in this game has their own theme.
They do.
And they're all like Sega style themes. Like Captain Falcon's is a very Sonic Adventure like uplifting theme. One of them's got a very Shadow edge to it. Some of them are just like really stereotypical for whatever culture or planet they're meant to be from. It's weird.
We should play some online. Actually, I must saying all of this has sort of re-sparked my memories about how good that game is, how solidly built that game is, and definitely one that I'll be coming back to. So that's a game that we will be playing relatively soon, but we are going to play another little game right now. Yes, it's time for the NintenDormant Quickfire quiz. 2 rounds, fastest finger first, followed by play or pass for double points. And as always, we will let our guests choose their buzzers. Ooh, or maybe we should let the patrons choose the buzzers.
Oh, yeah, let's do that.
Yeah, can do that.
All right, so what do we think?
How we buzz.
All right, guys. So in general, patrons, you can, if anybody's got one right off the bat, let's pick a buzzer for John. Let's go alphabetically. Let's go John first. What's John's buzzer going to be this week? If anybody has a good one, please feel free to suggest it. John, do you have any sort of themes that you might like? Josh, any themes you might like? Or Jason Ball's typing?
Like Animal Scream.
An animal scream.
Animal scream.
We'll see what Jason posts. We'll see if it's the sound the Wii remote makes in Brawl when DK is selected.
Yeah,
that's an animal scream.
Noise.
Yeah, that's an animal scream.
I imagine it's something like that.
He's like animal noises in Smash.
Fair enough.
Sakurai doesn't give him.
Just makes gorilla noises.
I love it. Okay, we're gonna go with that for John. Anything for Josh? Josh, any suggestions? Any theme? I mean, you like your Wario buzzers, but anything you're
true. If someone can think of a Wario buzzer I've not done yet.
Well, Disposable Hero is saying Banjo's laugh. We've got 2 people typing right now.
Banjo's laugh. I mean, Banjo's laugh's a good one. Where are you seeing that, John? Which chat?
Yeah, where are you saying that?
It's in quiz questions. I didn't look at the quiz.
Don't look at the quiz questions.
All I saw was that there were
we said
comments
general.
Don't look in the quiz questions.
I can take Banjo's laugh unless there's a
we'll see.
suggestion.
I'll tell you what. A couple of other people are posting. Let's see what comes up. So we've got a choice, and there's one more coming in, Josh. We've got a choice of 3 here. So we've got Banjo's laugh. We've got Wario's bike horn from Mario Kart 8.
Mike the karaoke bot from WarioWare. But what does Mike like? Mike says a lot of things. He might want to be a bit more specific than that.
So we've got Banjo's laugh, Wario's bike horn from Mario Kart 8. Can you guys remember how that goes? The horn?
I don't think it's that somehow.
Mike the karaoke from WarioWare. I tell you what, and the guy who says "oh" from Nintendo World Championships original, not NES edition. That is so specific. I love it. Okay. I tell you what, we'll crack on with the quiz, and you've got lots to choose from there, Josh. So maybe after the record, we'll see which one we end up with this week.
I am liking the Nintendo World Championship one. I think it would be the funniest one for you to try and get.
Oh no! Why? Okay. But do you know what? Yeah, fine. All right. This week, thank you for all the suggestions, everybody. Please, we'll keep them coming whenever we do a live record. This week, we'll go with the guy who says "oh" from Nintendo World Championships, original, not NES edition. Jesus. Okay. That's going to be so hard. All right. No problem. That's absolutely fine. Okay. Let's get on with the quiz. So, Josh, fingers on buzzers, please. Question 1. Here we go. The Trauma Center series is a surgical save-em-up from Atlas, including remakes. How many entries are there in the series? 4, 5, or 6?
Woo! Yeah! You ready?
Ooh, Josh is buzzed in.
That's so close!
Oh, Josh. Go on, Josh.
Including remakes.
Yes.
Is there 5?
Oh, damn it.
He's nailed it. It's 5 entries. Can you name them?
There's Trauma Center Under the Knife.
Yes.
Which is the first one. And then Trauma Center Second Opinion. which is the Wii remake. There's Trauma Team, which is also on the Wii.
Yes.
And then there's another one that's on the DS.
Yes.
That I don't know the name of that one. And
You're
then...
thinking of Under the Knife 2.
Yes, the interesting
we go.
title. Yeah. And there's one more.
Is it also on the Wii?
It's also on the Wii. It's between Trauma Team and Second Opinion.
Third Opinion?
I mean,
It's New Blood, right?
It's New Blood. I
New Blood,
I wonder if I got it. Trauma Center.
We didn't get Trauma Team here, right? Is that the one we didn't get?
We didn't get, and we didn't get Under the Knife 2 either. No,
Did we not get Trauma Team?
we did not.
I did.
There's New Blood. There it is.
There's at least
£35 back in the day.
Look how
Game price as
that would have
well.
been a brand new game, $34.99.
Look at those sexy
Damn.
doctors. Look at them. I know. Not even sure I played it, if I'm being honest. No, I did play it. Yes, Trauma Center New Blood. Well done, and I can reveal that the patrons nailed that. 86% said 5.
Good going,
And
guys.
14% said 4. So well done, patrons. Question 2. Though you can take the role of many doctors across the series, there is arguably a protagonist who appears in every title. What is their name? Ooh, John's buzzed.
Derek, do you want the full name?
The full name, I will give you Derek because I did not think you were going to get it. But the full name.
I
would
do
be
not
good.
remember his last name. It's like Derek Surgeon or something. No, Derek.
I mean, close enough. It's Derek Styles because you use the stylus, basically.
And
That's
it's
very good.
DS as
Yes,
well.
exactly. The multiple choice I was going to give you was Derek Styles, Angie Styles, or Harry Styles, which I thought would maybe be a bit of a way. But did our patrons get it? Let's reveal. Ooh, they did. 60% said Derek Styles, 20 said Angie, 20 said Harry. Well done, patrons. Point to John, point to you guys. They're pulling away, guys. 2 points. I mean, it's not really fair. We should maybe do a combined score for the two of you. But yes, well done, patrons. Very good. Question 3. The first game in the series sees Derek combating an aggressive new disease. What is the acronym for this disease?
Is it multiple choice?
It's going to be multiple choice now. Is it A, strife, B, fear, or C, guilt? Oh, Josh is buzzed in.
Oh.
Is it Strife?
It is not strife, Josh.
Damn, I should have
John, do you know? Is it fear or guilt?
I don't think I do know.
It's not one that stands out, to be honest. If I hadn't Googled it, I would not have remembered.
I'll say fear then.
It's guilt. It's guilt.
Damn it!
No points for the
Damn it!
boys. The patrons can pull away here. Let's view
I'm glad
their
it wasn't
results.
fear at least, because that was what I was going to say, and then I was like, actually,
Oh,
not.
the patrons don't get it either. 40% says try, 40% for fear, and 20% said guilt. Well done if you were the 20%, but your team has chosen otherwise. So it remains 2 points to the patrons, 2 to the resident guests. Yes, guilt, which stands for gangliated eutrophin immune latency toxin. Obviously.
Of course it
you should have
does.
asked us what
Obviously.
guilt standard for. Then we might have got that one.
I know. I mean, if only I hadn't just pulled that medical knowledge from my brain about immunolatency toxin, it would have been so easy there. Yes, Johnny says, I hear strife. I think gaming. I think strife was a good fake one. I was quite pleased with that. Lego guy nailed it. Well done, Lego guy. Right. Question 4. Fingers on buzzers, please.
All right.
Some doctors in the game have the healing touch. Medical powers that grant them special skills such as the ability to focus and slow down time. But what shape must the player draw to activate this power?
Oh, I think I know. But I want to hear the options.
The options are meant to be last ditch. You're not meant to have options for this bit.
All right.
Okay, he's buzzed. Go on.
Were you about to give
brave.
me options?
Be brave.
Were you about to give me...
No, I wasn't. Be brave, John. Come on, you can do this. You got this.
I feel like it's a star.
It's a star, John.
Oh,
Well
yeah.
done.
Okay.
More specifically, it's a pentagram. But a pentagram's a star. It's fine.
It's a pentagram,
they're
a
the same,
star.
they're the same.
Yeah, pentagrams. They're
Same
like
thing.
it's like the. Yeah, it's really hard to draw when you're stressed out as well. I mean, the options I gave you guys were a heart, a smiley face, and a star. I quite like the idea of drawing a
probably
smiley
got a star
face to
from
help you
that.
in surgery.
So you called it a star as well, rather than a pentagon.
Well, I called it a pentagon.
Pentagram.
Pentagram. Not a pentagon.
Draw the pentagon.
I wrote a pentagram initially, and then I thought, actually, that's too obvious because it's so specific. So I changed it to star. So I was fair to both of you. Yes, a demon star, Johnny says. Let's see the results for the patrons. They said, yeah, a star. 83% of them said star. They nailed that. Yes, really tricky to do during surgery. And there was one moment that made me livid with the first game. But we'll talk about that when we talk about the game. Jason Ball says, I have never played any of these games and I am guessing every time. Don't worry, Jason. You're all part of a team. I'm sure you're doing
don't worry,
well.
Jason, me too.
Yeah.
We spend a lot of our time guessing as well, to be fair.
Yeah, I'm obviously, if you're a regular listener to the show, you know I'm notoriously bad at pitching these quizzes. They're either too hard, too easy, or just boring. So I'm going to put a new poll out for the patrons now. Here we go.
It's like a new Goldilocks and the Three Bears story over there.
John, Josh, fingers on buzzers, please.
They are there.
Lovely. Oh, that sounded. I don't know why, John. That sounded a bit creepy. Right, question 5. Here we go. My fingers are there. There are many tools at the doctor's disposal. I'm going to start again.
Sorry.
All right. Question 5. There are many tools at the doctor's disposal during the game, but which of these was not a piece of equipment they could use during surgery? Is it A, a surgical laser, B, a bone saw, or C, antibiotic gel? So which couldn't they use? John?
Is it the laser?
It's not the laser. Ridiculously, there's a laser in the game. Josh, you can steal the point. Is it a surgical laser, a bone saw, or antibiotic gel? Which of these could not be used during the
game?
He's got no idea.
Cannot be used during the game, like at any point during the game.
Well, gameplay, during gameplay, because obviously part of the game is you're literally using surgical tools on the on the touchscreen or via the Wiimote. So there was one of these tools you couldn't use, either a surgical laser, a bone saw, or antibiotic gel.
Is it a bone saw?
Yeah, it's a bone saw. It's a bit too gruesome, I think.
I thought I remembered a bone saw.
Yeah, like
it was definitely a bone saw. It's definitely gel.
I only know antibiotic gel because it got brought up to me by my housemate when we were talking about it yesterday. He offhandedly mentioned
it's so
antibiotic
stupid.
gel.
It's
and
like
so I wasn't sure if it was a thing you could use.
Yeah, it's like
an
absolute
gel on them, don't you?
Yeah, it's terrible. Like a little blue thing. I think you have to like rub it over the area as well.
Rub that gel in all over the wound. It'd be fine.
Yeah. Don't worry about the loose sutures. Just on. No, a bone saw. You do tinker about with bones, but I think a bone saw would have been a bit too. I think literally sawing with a Wiimote would have maybe been a bit too gruesome.
I just want to remember doing that, like a big old saw, just chopping their bones off.
No, chopping their bones off. The patrons nailed it. 100% of them knew that they would not have a bone saw in that game. Well done, guys.
Could have sworn there's got to be a saw in there somewhere.
There's got to be a saw. Absolutely not. I checked really carefully. I might have been doing my terrible job, but we'll see. So I need to come up with a tiebreak and see who goes first for Player Pass. So this isn't worth any points. I won't post it for the patrons. I'll just do this for you guys. So, fingers on buzzers, John and Josh. Derek has an assistant. What is her name? Is it A, Angie, B, Bella, or C, Carol?
God, I know this.
Woo! Yeah, you ready?
Oh, Josh is buzzed. Go on, Josh.
Is it Angie?
It's Angie. Yes, it is.
Okay.
Very good.
I knew there was a character called Angie. I just didn't know what her role was. So that's good. She's the assistant.
Oh, yes, she is. And we've just had an excellent GIF posted in the chat of Bonesaw, the wrestler from Spider-Man. Very nice. Thank you. Right, we're going to move on to Play or Pass for double points. I will still be posting for you, our lovely patrons. I will pop that up now. And Josh, you will be going first for Play or Pass. Are you ready?
Okay. As ready as I can be.
Yeah, with zero knowledge of the game. Okay.
He's winning!
2010's Trauma Team, the final game in the franchise to date, focuses on combating an epidemic that is sweeping across the population. But what year is the game set? Is it set in 2019, 2020, or 2021? Horrendous.
I'm gonna say it's 2019.
Oh, John gets the point. John, do you know the year?
It's not 2020.
It's literally 2020.
Oh god.
I think to be fair, I think they call it an epidemic in the game and not a pandemic. But yeah. I think I read something about it being based on like the swine flu outbreak of 2009.
Right.
Yes, Sammy. I think we should probably do a video about that pronto and get that out. But yeah, Trauma Center had a sort of epidemic breaking out in 2020. Mad. Let's see how.
What does it say is going to happen in 2025?
Oh god.
Does it go that far?
No. 60% of the patrons said 2021. But I tell you what, we're doing play or pass, and then 40% said the right year 2020. So I'm going to give them 1 point. I think that feels fair, right? If they get the right answer, 2 points, and if it's the second most chosen one, 1 point. What do we think, guys?
Yeah, that sounds fair.
If it's close enough, if it's only like 5% of them said the correct answer, but it's the second highest.
All right. Well, they all know who the nice ones are now, and it ain't Josh. not when it comes to quizzes. John, your question, play or pass. Are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay. So, each game uses vitals as a metric to assess a patient's health. Drop to 0 and you get a game over. But what is the range that the vitals cover? Is it 0 to 99, 0 to 199, or 0 to 499? You can play or pass.
Okay. I don't know how vitals work in real life. But it's probably the same as Trauma Team, right?
But then, if you don't know in real life, how's that going to help you? You're trying to logic a question for which you don't know the answer.
Yeah. I don't want to pass it. I'm gonna guess it.
Go on.
And I'm gonna guess. Well, your styling so far with your wrong answers and your right answers have been bang in the middle. So you'll try and throw me off with a really high one. So you went from 0 to 499 as your last one, right? That's a gulf. So I'm going to go with 0 to 199.
You've fallen into my cunning trap. Josh gets the point.
What?
Yeah.
Yes.
I knew.
What was it?
I literally said that. I'm actually really happy that you've explained that, and you're so cocky as well.
I thought
because I literally
did
it
it
for that reason. It is 0 to 99. Oh. Sorry, I should have said Josh. He gets the point anyway, but yes, 0 to 99. You do. Let's see if our patrons got it right. They went for 0 to 199, and they got 0%. They all voted 0 to 199, so no
we all
point.
thought we had your system down.
We all
thought we had you.
Yeah, you thought you had it, you cocky. Right. And do you know what? Though? The fact that the patrons have fallen at that hurdle means, guys, combined, the two of you are on 6 points, and they are on 5. So patrons, the resident guests are pulling away. We've got to see how we're going to do. You could do some. I didn't think about this. They could have a little chat in general and sort of come to a consensus. Do whatever you want. Your patrons, enjoy yourselves. Question 3, Josh. This is for you. So, Trauma Center Under the Knife sees you using your medical skills on more than just. I've written something really stupid. Don't look, you do, in the quiz thing. Right.
Okay.
Trauma Center Under the Knife sees you using your medical skills on more than just patients, but how exactly do you use them? Is it to A, defuse a bomb, B, to fix a broken down car, or C, to make a gift and wrap it for a colleague?
I actually know this one. You defuse a bomb.
You do. It's such a stupid thing in the game.
Iconic.
It is. I think it is
the first thing I ever found out about this game.
It's so good. I think it's one of those things that has sort of slightly transcended the game, hasn't it? Like it's.
Yeah.
I think it was. I think it was pre-meme, but it feels like it would have been a meme.
I think there might have been like an Ego Raptor animated video for Trauma Center.
yes,
that
there is.
Made reference to it.
Yes. Doctor, we need your help defusing this bomb. And I think it says, "Open that up," and jumps into the bomb. It's very, very good. 2 points to Josh. Very good. Let's see how our patrons did. I wrote in the Patreon chat. Trauma Center Under the Knife sees you using your medical skills for more than just a car. Brilliant. So that gave it away. Sammy's posted the Ego Raptor. Very good. Thank you. Let's see how they did. The patrons nailed it. 80% said defusing a bomb. So, John.
Very nice. Yes.
Now, I don't want to put too much pressure on you here.
Okay.
In fact, although, if you get this right, you and Josh collectively win as a team. If you get this wrong, you draw with the patrons, and Josh wins. I don't really know what that means in the grand scheme of things, but we will see. I don't know if it's even possible to do a tie break with the patrons and our resident guests. Let's see.
So if I get this right, do Josh and I do our pitches at the same time, like just talk over each other?
No, I'll do a tiebreaker for you guys, but I thought it might be nice to have a tie with the patrons. We'll see what happens. Right, John, you're going to be so angry with me because this is a much more difficult question than the last one.
It always is. It always is. It's like, what is the name for trauma centre in Latin?
Yeah, that's it. What was it?
No.
Right, so play or pass, here we go. Trauma Centre introduces us to a type of artificial blood that treats patients. What is the name of this blood? Is it...
I don't even know the name of my own blood type. I just guess if the doctor asks me.
You might remember this.
Hope for the best.
You might remember this. Is it Plas T? Is it Ves H? Or is it Hemo Q?
I feel like it's Plas T.
Oh, it's not. Josh gets the point. Josh, do you know what it is?
What was the middle option?
Plas T, Ves H, or Hemo Q?
I'm going to go Ves H.
Guys, it's Hemo Q.
Damn it.
And the patrons get 1 point because 40% said that, and Plas T was a good fake. I was pleased with that fake.
Yeah, Plas T. Well, what does the Ves in the middle one even come from? Or did you just make up a
vessels,
sound?
like blood vessels? I couldn't think of anything else. I'm not medically trained.
So you tricked me. In my head, I was like, well, plasma is blood and hemoglobin is blood, but the middle one is nothing. So,
Jason says, "Thank you, middle school science class, for teaching me hemo means blood." Jason nailed it. Oiram Repus, Sammy. Oiram R from Sammy. That's a lovely callback. Thank you very much. And yes, Plasty does feel good. I think I've done the scoring correctly, everybody. I think at the end of that, the patrons have a score of 8. Collectively, John and Josh have a score of 9. They have pinched it.
Yeah.
Although you didn't know the answer though. You gave me the wrong one. But you just get
Doesn't
the point.
matter. Doesn't matter. Well, you made the rules, Josh.
No, no, Josh, I'm giving you the point to put you over the top and win the quiz, but I'm taking it away from you, so you draw with the patrons because that feels fair. So all in all, in the quiz, Josh scores 6, John scores 3, but versus the patrons, it's 8 points to 8. So well done, everybody. Well done. That is our first ever live quiz. Thank you very much for joining in, everyone. But Josh, you won the quiz, and that means you'll be going first as we move into the main event. So yes, the series we are talking about this week is the Trauma Centre series. A quick history lesson for those who don't know. The Trauma Centre series is a visual novel cross-surgery simulator developed by Atlas, releasing exclusively on the Nintendo DS and Wii from 2007 to 2010. Beginning with Trauma Centre Under the Knife for the DS, the game sees you take on the role of the young Dr. Derek Stiles as he combats guilt, a new deadly disease. With the backing of Caduceus, a medical organisation / counter-bioterrorism unit, you save the day by utilising the healing touch to slow time during surgery. Second Opinion followed on the Wii, a remake with a beefed-up story, swapping touch controls for motion controls. This was followed by New Blood, a grittier story that explores the ethics of profit-based medicine. Under the Knife 2, a direct sequel returning to DS, and finally Trauma Team in 2010 back on the Wii, splitting the action across 6 doctors with different specialties. Sadly, the last 2 games never made it to Europe, but the series at large is praised for its engaging story and well-implemented controls, making the most of the consoles that played home to them. 15 years have passed since the last entry, and sadly Trauma Centre is currently locked to the systems, with an NSO release looking very unlikely, given the current setup. So yes, the Trauma Center series. I would call this a sort of not an important, not like a tipping point or a turning point, but a real solid point in sort of touch control gaming and motion control gaming that showed what those systems can do. John, you played them. Do you agree? Do you think it was a kind of a real showcase for that, or what was your kind of impression of the game when it first came out?
Exactly. I think this really did change a lot of stuff, because so far touchscreens are mostly used for mini games, I'd say. And I think this is kind of a series of mini games in a way, but it contextualizes it in one big story and just makes it part of the general flow of the game. So I think it did kind of make them be taken a bit more seriously. And I saw people in the chat saying they love how many DS games have DS in the initials, like
the character
Silence.
Derek Styles.
I made the connection of like Styles, Stylus. I didn't make the connection of Derek Styles as in DS. I think that's awesome.
Mad. Very good. And Josh, you didn't. So you've never played a Trauma Center game.
No, I've never played. I do own Second Opinion.
Right.
An ex of mine randomly bought me it from CEX as like a birthday gift one year. It would be literally in like, oh, I know you like video games, so I bought this, and it was Trauma. She bought it and put a fake game cover over the front of it.
Yeah,
something like Kirby does his taxes.
Brilliant.
Like, and then I laughed and I took the thing off. I was like, oh shit, this is Trauma Center.
And then you went, okay, I'll never play it.
Yeah, I was like, oh, I want the cover. It went.
Thank you. I'm breaking up with you. So you own Second Opinion, but you've never played it.
Yes, I own Second Opinion, but I just never got around to playing it. I knew of Trauma Center. I want to say Official Nintendo Magazine is probably where I first seen the DS game. But for me, it falls into that same kind of category that stuff like Ace Attorney and The World Ends With You and Ghost Trick does. As these like pretty popular cult games for the platform. Like Trauma Center, the first one appears quite a lot in like best of DS games or most well-known DS games. But and it clearly did well enough to get sequels. But I'd never quite say it hit the same sort of cultural presence of like something like Professor Layton on the Nintendo DS.
Yes, I think
like Ace Attorney didn't hit that point until
much later.
At least the 3DS, yeah.
Yes.
And The World Ends With You never hit that point, unfortunately.
No, but I think you're right. I think cult status is exactly it, right? Because I think the people that know the game and played it loved it. I mean, I adored Trauma Center on the DS. I 100%ed it. It's rock hard, but it's great. Great characters, a ridiculous story that sees you defusing a bomb, taking on this mad virus that you shoot with a laser gun, but somehow gripping and engaging, and just felt perfect with the stylus. Did you play the Wii games as well then, John, or just Under the Knife?
I played both. Yeah, I think the DS game, I would say, as I played Second Opinion, not Trauma Team.
Right.
I say the DS game is probably the better one. There's some finicky stuff in the Wii game, but.
Yes.
I do think, from a presentation perspective, Shin Megami Tensei fans, especially Persona 3 and 4 fans, would actually like the Wii game's presentation a lot because it looks like Persona 3 and 4.
Yes, it does.
The character portraits especially look like they're straight out of Persona. And back then, that was still more of a niche. Now it's quite common. So if they were to do like a Trauma Team or Trauma Center game these days and keep that sort of Persona-looking style, I think people would just run towards this series.
Yeah, and plus, we get more sort of visual novels now. People are more used to that kind of the way games tell stories in that way. Definitely has that Atlas look. I think I agree about the finicky thing as well. I own both the Wii titles, and I was really excited for Second Opinion. I knew it was a sort of beefed up remake of the original, but it just as much as it tried, it didn't have the precision of putting a stylus on a screen. It couldn't have that back then, and I think I found it too frustrating to play. So I was never quite invested in it as much as I was in the DS one.
Yeah,
see, I think that's another sort of reason why I held off on playing Second Opinion, even though I own it, because people have always told me the DS one is better, and it feels like a game that was designed for the DS. So it feels like I'd want to play it on the DS instead of having to play it with the Wii remote.
I mean, you can get it for pretty cheap now as well, and I think most of our patrons are agreeing in the chat, sort of saying, yeah, the stylus is their kind of preferred way to engage with those games. There were some very cool things I will say on the Wii. Things like doing the defibrillator by getting the nunchuck and the Wiimote and going, is that was pretty. Well, there wasn't rumble obviously, but doing a little boop and pushing it forward, that was very cool. And I was thinking as I was sort of driving today. And turning the series over in my head, I was thinking what a shame it was that it didn't come to the 3DS. But again, like the Bonesaw, I don't know if having a sort of 3D look into a pulsating stomach as
blood coming out of the
stomach. I'm not 100% sure it would have.
We need it in 4K.
Yeah, it would have hit right with people. Do you remember much about the story, John? We said it's got that kind of Atlas way of telling stories that we're used to now. The fifth game. Now, I've not played Trauma Team, even though Josh's Yorkshire friend has somehow. I've never played it down in the south. We didn't get those games down here. But looking up about it again, it's told in like a comic book as opposed to being the kind of more, let's say, natural storytelling of the originals. Do you remember the sort of story beats, or is it more the gameplay that stuck with you?
More the gameplay. I can't remember that many story beats. I know it gets very dramatic and over the top in a fun way.
It's great.
Yeah. It's like anime Hobby City, isn't it?
Yes, my wife is currently watching. I don't know how she ended up doing this, but she just got into Grey's Anatomy. She never watched it.
My wife too. I think it's a wife thing.
What is it? It's when wives have kids, they watch Grey's Anatomy.
Yeah.
And I don't know why.
From the beginning. This is like
yes,
so many series long.
Yes, in the last 2 or 3 years, John, by any chance?
Yeah.
Right, we have to have more of a chat about this once the podcast wraps up, but that is incredible. But it is that kind of, sort of, I mean, look at how sexy all these doctors are on the front of this game. It's ridiculous. They're all like incredibly chiseled, sexy, good-looking doctors doing like life-saving surgery and then, vaguely kind of flirting or being like really, hey, we're really enemies, but we're going to help each other kind of stuff. And yeah, it does get, there's this whole thing about the healing touch is a thing descended from Asclepius, who is like the Greek god of medicine. And, you're descended from him if you have it. Mad. Trauma Team kind of steps away from that, apparently, and is more, I say grounded in reality, but more sort of realistic. But I think I would miss that. I quite like that kind of mad side to it.
I know more about the story of Trauma Team than the others, thanks to the conversation I had.
Please tell us about it. Yeah,
it's basically it's an epidemic spreads across an entire town, and I guess the American or whatever country they're in government is like, we're just going to put this whole city in a giant dome. And we're going to deal with the virus by putting in a dome and just letting everyone in the dome die, and the virus should die along with it.
I'm glad I said it was grounded in reality.
Yeah, as you were going on, I'm sitting there like, all right, there's a giant dome. There's also a detective woman in the game who listens to the bones.
Brilliant.
And gets
the bones.
Like the TV series
literally,
Bones.
So the main villain of the game is apparently a virus. And they find the person who made the virus, but he's already dead. And there's a minigame where you have to piece the guy's skeleton back together, and then she listens to the bones of the skeleton and learns that he was the one who made the virus and what happened through that.
So real.
So grounded.
That's why I liked it. We've got a thing here, Johnny's saying that the double entwined snake staff on hospitals is the symbol of Asclepius, if we didn't know that. I don't know how you pronounce it, but yes, I did know. That's a very cool piece of trivia there. Well, actually, let me dig into that a little bit, Josh, because what makes Trauma Team different from the other games as well is that you've got these 6 doctors and they have different specialties, right? So there's like, I think there's surgery, emergency medicine, endoscopy, and whatever that is, diagnosis, orthopedics, and like forensic medicine, listening to the bones. So I think the thing I've read about it is people felt like it was a bit more kind of mini game, like you kind of did the same thing over and over with a doctor, and you didn't get the kind of pace and variety that you got with the original games. So that to me is interesting. I would sort of be keen to play it and see how it felt, because the other thing I really loved about the games is that it really felt like you had the story, and the story pushed you on, it moved it a lick, and the surgeries could be really frantic. You're stitching something up, and then suddenly something erupts, and you've got to get the thing to suck up the blood, and then something else happens, and your attention is being pulled everywhere, and you can only use the healing touch once to slow down time. And really nailing where that comes in is so important. The thing I was going to say about the healing touch, so I remember this. It's one of those things. I think I remember it really clearly, but somebody might correct me. I think the final boss in that game is like somebody who's just riddled with guilt or something like, it's riddled with guilt. Hilarious. But you're operating on him, and it's like almost impossible to stop the kind of waves of the disease attacking him. And I kept slowing down time and getting so close, just not doing it. This was at university. I remember just sitting in my room, just like swearing at my DS. But then I think out of frustration, I just did the pentagram again, and it was the only time you could do it twice, and basically it freezes time so you could finish the procedure. And I must have done it 30 times before I realised that, because you're told all the time you can only do it once because it's so exhausting. That made me mad, and it was before the time when you could just like Google an answer as well. So that made me quite irritated. I suppose the last thing we should talk about really before we move on to the pitches is this game had 5 entries in just over 3 years. Yeah. And it was a bit of a cult classic, Josh, but didn't push on like Ace Attorney, or things like Professor Layton. Do you think that maybe there was a bit of a case of sort of saturation, or why do you think it never had that breakthrough, and why do you think it went away? I mean, Josh, I know you haven't played it, but what are your thoughts on that? Do you sort of have a feeling?
Could be saturation. Obviously, I've not seen the writing and the characters because I've not played it.
Apparently, Under the Knife 2, the writing isn't as good, and some people were a bit miffed about that. Yeah,
because the thing with Ace Attorney is like all 3 of the original Ace Attorney trilogy are like classics.
Yeah,
they're all the characters are great. The writing is great. The twists are great. Like there's so much good stuff in that. And then even though the 4th one wasn't as good, and the first Investigations wasn't as good, and that's why the series sort of disappeared for a bit, it was still like strong enough that Capcom felt like they could bring it back. Whereas Trauma Center, I mean, it's only really the first one that I've ever heard anything about. I've not heard anything about New Blood before. And or Under the Knife 2. Trauma Team I only really know because it's the last one, and I've got a friend who's played it.
Yeah.
So when you've got 5 games in the series, one of which is a remake of one, and it's that one is the only one that I usually hear people talking about or referencing, it doesn't paint a great picture for how the other 2 are.
Yeah. How about
it might
you,
not
John?
even be the quality, really. I mean, maybe it is, but I think this is a series where the gameplay doesn't stretch across multiple entries that well. Like, you've got the first game, which is excellent, on the DS. You put it on the Wii, that's another, like, that's a bit of a shake-up. And then, like, can the gameplay carry its own across 3 other games after that? That's a harder question to answer, because they tried sequels on both the Wii and the DS. So they obviously tried, and I imagine it was just a continuous dip. Because it's not really a game where the impact can keep hitting and hitting and hitting. 'Cause the first time you play, it's like, oh, this is cool. Second time you play, it's like, this is kind of more of the same again. Yeah. You can only change the story up more and more until the gameplay kind of, plummets.
Yeah. I think that's fair enough.
I think another possible explanation as well is that it's Atlas, and the Trauma Center games came out at a time when Atlas wasn't owned by Sega, when they were their own independent company.
Yeah.
And like, it's not just Trauma Center. Basically anything that wasn't Persona or Shin Megami Tensei from Atlas struggles to get any kind of new game. Like, Raido just got a remaster. And Soul Hacker got a new game, but both of those are like those 2 are more in line with what Shin Megami Tensei stuff does. Even as far as I'm aware, I think even the new Soul Hacker game, they changed the gameplay to be more like Shin Megami Tensei than the actual original Soul Hacker games were.
True.
I mean, I do wonder with Atlas's kind of, I think, because I don't think it's unfair to say they're a much bigger company now than they were then.
Yeah, they are now than they were then.
It almost feels like it's kind of a right time to bring back. I mean, John, we covered Jack Bros on the podcast, which I don't know great game, but I don't know if that's ever coming back. But certainly something like this, it feels like it's, I think with the kind of cachet they have in the industry now, I couldn't imagine why, it wouldn't do well if they brought it back. Well, unfortunately, we're obviously going to have the opportunity to do that now because, Josh, you won the quiz, which means you're now the president of Nintendo. But John and I and our patrons, we are the board, and we demand that you bring back Trauma Center and you make it a success. So please tell us, how do you plan to do it?
So Atlas have come up for us. They come over, they've asked us, Nintendo, we don't know what to do with Trauma Center. I have no idea. Can you help us? And my first thought was, what's a trauma center? My second thought, all right, we got hospital sim. All right, I think it's we can do that now. A few years ago, it might have been a bit tasteless, but now I think it's fine. So we're gonna come in. What I think we need to understand. What I think everyone needs to understand out there is that there's a lot of people who are always mad with the way that hospitals are ran and stuff like that. They don't understand how difficult it is for doctors and nurses and everyone else who works at the hospital. So we're going to bring Trauma Center back and make it as realistic as we can to an actual hospital setting. We're going to give players the ability to do everything from surgery to consultancy to deciding which medicines to use. You're going to have to call up the pharmacist. You're going to have to ask them for medicine. You're going to have to go down to the pharmacist. You're going to have to... We'll take the trauma team idea of having multiple characters all with their different roles, and you'll be able to swap between them. And you will have to do stuff like pick the exact medicine that you need for a thing. Someone comes down and they're like, Mr. Pharmacist, the patient has a heart problem. We're worried he's going to have a stroke. We need to give him some medicine. And then I've given a prescription. Then you look at this prescription. It's up to you to decide, is this right or not? Oh no, the doctor has written 26 doses in one day. I think he meant 6 doses. So
Okay.
you got to correct that.
Yep.
And then you got to go, all right, this medicine is hemanacidine. Right, where the hell is that on the thing? We're gonna get that. You're gonna do the whole process. That's just the pharmacy mini game though, because it's obviously the surgery
Pharmacy minigame.
the surgery mini game is gonna be like proper surgery. You get open heart surgery, you get arm surgery, you get all the different types of surgeries. You get a bone saw,
Brilliant.
cut through bones.
Is that a promise? That's a guarantee.
That is a promise. That is a guarantee. We're adding bone cutting mini games to this. Nice. You're gonna get someone with diabetes coming in, and you're gonna have to cut his leg off because these diabetes has gone too far.
Right? Yep.
Diabetes has gone.
You're gonna have to do consultancy. You're gonna have someone come in, and they'll be like, "Doctor, my cancer's been really hurting me for the last 3 decades." You're gonna have to console them. It's like a multiple choice thing. You're gonna have to pick the right options.
That's so bleak. I don't know if doctors do that. Okay.
Doctors have to console their patients.
Yeah, okay, no, fine, fair.
No.
Yep.
Yeah, sure.
People need to understand how difficult it is for doctors and nurses. And there'll be like a downtime at the end, right? So like you'll get to go home and you'll get to like relax, and there'll be like a downtime from the mini games where you can maybe you can get maybe we'll do gamey stuff like hide collectibles, or you can go out and buy stuff with your money that you earn with your little paycheck. But then you'll go home and you'll have about an hour before you have to go to bed, and then you got to wake up again the next day at 5 a.m. to get to the hospital.
Right.
And sometimes you might be on call, so you'll get back and you'll be like midway through putting a poster up, and then you get a phone call and it's someone asking you a sudden mini game. You got a question to answer. You got to come in. Sudden surprise, you've got to go back to the hospital and play another minigame when you thought you were going to have some downtime to save.
We've got a great quote from one of the patrons in the chat here. I love how you get a break from the minigames by doing downtime minigames.
It's like we want the player to understand what it's like to be a doctor.
Yeah.
Or nurse, or pharmacist, or GP, or surgeon. All the different roles.
Okay, so yes, so it sees you how hard it is to be a doctor, and you get all the kind of different roles. So what's the, do you choose who you take on then? Or is it kind of focused around one doctor maybe trying to find his or her specialty?
We're going to have. It's going to be a story. Obviously, it's still a story-driven game, so there's going to be some melodrama,
Right.
and stuff like that. Whether or not, and this is something that I think we'd have to experiment with. All right, we can either have one story where you jump between the different parts depending on how the narrative goes, or we'll have it Sonic Adventure style where you pick your protagonist at the start and you just play as them over the same story but from their perspective. Now the only issue with that side is that if you're doing the pharmacist, you'll be doing the same pharmacy mini games over and over again without a break, which is why I feel like you should be jumping between them. All That's right. What I'm pitching for, but the narrative would need to work to allow for that.
So we're going more for the trauma team kind of feeling then, the kind of...
Yes, we're going more for the trauma team sort of feeling, but it's in a hospital. They're not like a rescue team or whatever it is in Trauma Team.
Okay.
They're not like a special ops team. They're just a doctor, junior surgeon, junior pharmacist. It's the junior team, the recruit team.
Okay.
I don't know what you'd call that in a hospital. I don't know my hospital lingo well enough.
Yeah, anybody with a bit of hospital knowledge, please let us know. That would be good. John, any questions for Josh so far?
Is it fun? It sounds like...
Is it fun to be a doctor?
I must admit, I was thinking the same thing.
You're being accurate to being a doctor. There's a lot of stress. You've got to go to the pharmacist, make sure, read the handwriting. It's very realistic. Is it fun?
Well, is anything fun, really? It depends on your definition of fun. There are mini games here, surgical mini games. There are other types of mini games as well.
Right.
Like the pharmacy ones, I'm thinking of them more like a logic puzzle.
Can I tell you what I was thinking?
Like a detective type logic puzzle where you have to look up on a computer what things are and figure it out that way. You know, people like stuff like Who Killed the Root Trees, or The Root Trees Are Dead, and that's very much a go onto your computer, look up things, connect the dots. I'm thinking of that in a microcosm for that minigame.
When you said the pharmacy one, I will admit the first thing my brain went to was the mail sorting minigame from Wind Waker, where you're flinging the mail into the correct slots.
Yeah.
So that was like, prescription. But no, you were talking about sitting down and doing actual work at the computer. How are you going to figure out, okay, so you have to prescribe a medicine. Do you have textbooks? Do you have to thumb through something, or
you got a computer? With files on it. You got a glossary on a computer, and you can look things up. You can look on the database,
right? But then
the network.
You just have to sit there until you find the answer.
That's what it's like to be a doctor.
That's what it's like to be a doctor. This is 100% true. We've got a pitch for the name. We've got Trauma Center. This is going to hurt. I don't know if you've got your name yet for it. Is Atlas developing it, or is it developed by somebody else?
Yes, it's Atlas developing it.
Okay.
Atlas is still developing it.
Any more questions, John?
How are you able to tell a good, convincing story in such a bustling environment? Because doctors don't really get their downtime. They're always just going from point A to point B, point A to point B. Is there time to tell a story with all this going on?
Yeah, there's all kinds of drama that we can be having. We'll start it off almost episodic, right? Someone's come into the hospital, we don't know what disease they have, we'll go through the steps of figuring it out and what to give them at the end. We'll have a thing where someone's coming in on a car crash and we have to do the surgery part of it. We'll start with, little stories, little moments with people, and then we'll start getting more recurring characters. We'll have someone who's come in and they're sick and we have to help them, and then they come back later on in the story, and we get to follow all of their individual storylines, all the different patients who come in and out. And on top of that, we get the relationships between the actual people who work at the hospital. There'll be the relationship between the doctor and their head doctor, the surgeon and the I guess their head of surgery. I don't know why I thought they'd have a different name. the prescriber and the pharmacist, and then the pharmacist to the doctor. Maybe the pharmacist doesn't like the doctor because he keeps getting everything wrong, and we can see this how their relationship is straining. The prescriber's the one stuck in the middle because it's up to him to be the middleman in all of this, and we'll see proper character-driven relationships happening.
The prescriber sounds right. That definitely sounds like the right word.
Sure.
Yeah, I mean, I think that is. Unless it's just also what the pharmacists are. I don't know. I think that's a role.
Well, I've got developed by Atlas, guys. If you've got board members, if you have questions, start firing them into the chat now. I've got one more question. So for me, Josh, it's like, where's the whimsy from the series, right? Because it's quite a whimsical series. Is that just flat gone now, or is
It'll
it
just be in the it'll be in the dialogue. We'll have fun writing.
Okay,
people can have fun conversations.
Will people die? Like if the doctor gives you the wrong dose?
Yeah.
Will they? Is that them done?
I mean, yeah, people can die.
Yeah.
Now the question is, do we make it so it's a game over if they die? Or do we have branching paths? Because people do like their branching paths.
In a real hospital, you'd have to just
in a real hospital, it would
punches.
be branching paths.
Yeah.
And that could support replayability. Maybe there's like several different endings. Some of the minor characters, maybe like the minor patients who come in, have just their own personal story that the player can follow, but isn't part of the overall thing. If they die, you lose access to that story.
I'm just thinking.
Obviously, they never come back because they're dead.
Can you imagine?
And that's an important plot that you lose out on.
If you were a real doctor and like you just had the agony of losing somebody on the table, and then one of your like fellow doctors came up and just went wah 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 wah, and gave you a little game over like on a card that just told you to leave. Do we have a name for this game?
I've had a few going through my brain.
Think on it. We'll fire some questions from the board here. So we've got a few things to cover. So we've got doing the Professor Layton split the liquids puzzle at the pharmacy. Yes. Yes to that. Love that idea. Will a 100% completion of the game give you a screen with your own medical degree? Is that the end game?
I'd hope you'd have a medical degree if you work in an hospital already.
I think it means in real for the player. Will the player get
for the player.
Yeah, basically Nintendo sort of helping the world by creating a game which genuinely gives you a medical degree at the end of it.
I think you should get a rating based on the mini games and how well you did on each one.
Can you use this to get a job in a hospital?
Degree.
Yeah,
you could try.
Yeah, do you end up with like a 2-2 if too many people die? It's like, oh no, you didn't get the first class one. I mean, I should have seen this coming. Can you date your fellow doctors and nurses? Can you date them?
There could be some romance in the story. The thing here is, though, you're not playing as you're playing as a cast of characters. So
so probably not that much chance for romance because you've kind of got the paths played out in the game. I guess you're sort of exploring them with branching paths as opposed to kind of making those choices, right?
Yes.
All right.
So there will be like some romance because it's
but baked
saucy,
in,
it's
baked
interesting
into the game.
for the story, but baked into the game. Yes.
All right.
And Sammy obviously, if a patient dies or someone else dies earlier in the story, then that maybe a romance option will be lost.
I like it. I like that. Fire Emblem Permadeath could go with Fire Emblem Recruitment. Yes, Sammy.
What, recruiting the patients?
No, I think recruiting the
Congratulations, you've survived leukemia. Now here's your medical degree.
This is meant to be a family-friendly show. It's fine. Yes, it's like learning to fly in Microsoft Flight Simulator. Yeah. Fair. I definitely, I would definitely
Nintendo
trust
Simulator.
a doctor who qualified via trauma centre. Any more questions from the board for Josh before we move on? I'll give it a minute if anybody's got any other questions. Josh, anything else you'd like to add about the game before we move on?
Still have the same art style. Still have the Persona
very nice.
Shin Megami Tensei art style.
Yeah. I'd be more surprised if it wasn't. And have you thought of a name yet?
We're just going to call it Trauma Center.
The Trauma Center.
Yeah. Ooh. With a big emphasis on the word trauma. It's big and bold letters.
The mental trauma center. Yeah, very good. All right. So is it Trauma Center or the Trauma Center?
Just Trauma Center.
Just Trauma Center. All right.
Yeah, they haven't done that yet.
So we're leaning more into the kind of later entries in the series and really doubling down on sort of more realistic take of life in the hospital. All right. Well, John, you are now the president of Nintendo, but we are still the board, and we still demand that you bring back Trauma Center. So please tell us, how do you plan to do it?
So the president walks up to the podium with boxes of all 5 games in the series and goes, Knocks them all on the floor.
Not the angry president. Why?
I hate the past. And then he flips the whiteboard over into a blackboard, gets a bit of chalk out, and just draws a bunch of teenagers. I want this. I want this. So he's drawn like 6
Mr.
teenagers.
President, I don't think you should be
needs to
saying
get-
that. Teenagers.
The board need to sack him. He's so angry.
So in this pitch, you play as 6 teenagers in school, but they're special. These are friends who have the power of healing. And we are making a Shin Megami Tensei RPG where instead of battling using weapons or things that can hurt people, you are using tools of healing and you're battling sick people. So we're going to be going around dungeons, and someone with all these diseases is going to come up to you in a random encounter, and you've got to find their elemental weakness, which is, in fact, the way that's going to help them. So if they're bleeding, their elemental weakness, or strength in this case, is going to be a plaster. So use your plaster attack, get rid of their bleeding. Oh, look, they're coughing. You got to get some Beecham's.
Some syrup.
And then hit them with that. So it is a very traditional RPG, only instead of using your attacks for damage, you are healing to win the battle and cure these sick people. The main objective is you aren't known to be a doctor. You're a regular high school person, and you're living a double life as a doctor. Your family can't know. They'll freak out. No one can know. So you put on a disguise. Basically, you look the same as always, but you put on like a doctor's coat, and no one can recognize you now. And then you can go around healing everybody. And there's this big, bad, sick guy who's been causing so many problems around town, just coughing on everyone. Going around coughing on absolutely everyone. He is the president of the newspaper company. He's a big guy. He has a lot of power. But he's coughing on everyone. He didn't like someone's report. He thought this report was bad. He coughed on them. Made them sick too. He's made a whole bunch of mini-bosses around town by coughing on the chain of command. And you've got to get back through that chain of command, make them healed, and eventually heal the big bad guy. And once he is healed, perhaps he won't be so bad, and he'll stop printing misleading info about your family. So there's a whole chain of events going on here, all leading from the newspaper guy who's sick. You've got to heal him, but no one can know because you're a teenager. You have a curfew.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. I'm on board with this. Why are you in dungeons? why not just out and about?
No one can know though. That's why. So basically, the newspaper guy, the CEO, he has a lot of money because there's a lot of money in print media.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Famously on the up.
Yeah. So he has formed all these dungeons where he keeps all of his sick people. He's made all those people sick. He's gonna contain them until he's made this ultra virus, which he's gonna unleash. So you've infiltrated these dungeons, and you're gonna make them all healthy again.
So hold on. So are we battling against actual other humans who are just sick?
Yeah.
What are they doing to us? Are they just going to cough on us? Are they doing it intentionally?
Yeah.
Are they doing it accidentally?
So, big newspaper guy. He's sick. He's bad. And he's got a special illness which causes other people to be bad too. So it looks like it's just a cold, sometimes a fever. But as the illness progresses, you start to become bad. And so you've got to heal those guys ASAP. Otherwise, who knows? They'll get out of the dungeon and they'll make everyone else sick and bad.
They've got kind of sickness of the heart.
It's kind of like a gentle 28 days later.
Yeah, sure.
So we've had some board members ask, are we considering licensing of the Beecham's trademark? Because some other board members are saying Beecham's is a deal breaker for them. So, like, is that done? Is that a done and dusted deal?
Is Beecham's not highly regarded?
I mean, I don't know if I instinctively reach for the Beecham's. I'm more of a Lemsip person when I've got a cold.
Yeah, I'm more of a Lemsip person as well.
Well, Beecham's tablets I'm okay with. Beecham's syrup tastes god awful.
Yeah,
I think it's meant to taste awful.
You're crazy
Yeah.
if you're doing that. No offense, any Beecham's employees listening.
Beecham's enthusiasts.
Or GlaxoSmithKline. I think they make. I don't know. They're just a big old company that I know. Instead of the healing touch, let's break out the cowpole. Excellent.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so I quite like. I like the idea of turning a sort of RPG on its head, because I think actually that's what Trauma Center did, right? You know, sort of back then when games were released, it was always like, hey, kill everybody and beat all the bad guys and get to the end. But this was, no, save everybody, you know, save the day, rescue people, heal people. So I quite like the idea of sort of flipping the RPG like that. I mean, how much are we leaning into Persona? Is it like full? Like, are you
Quite
like
close. Quite close. Apart
I was going to
from-
say, what are we doing during the day when we're not healing people?
Yeah. So during the day, this is based in Scotland, by the way. Peter Capaldi's voicing one of the teenagers.
Okay. Not the newspaper guy.
probably more fitting?
Yeah, during the day, basically you go around, you have to juggle your life of healing and your life of studying. And we're not going to make it too much like Persona, though. So we're not going to go to a calendar. This is free roaming for the most part. You can go around your little Scottish town. You can buy stuff from the pharmacy. Sometimes because you're a teenager, you might have awkward moments where you accidentally call a prescription a subscription, and the person behind the counter will be like, we don't do subscriptions here. And you'll think about that moment for like a long time. It's going to come up and cause damage in battle sometimes.
Is that a personal memory, John? That feels strangely personal.
Yeah.
Peter remembered the cringe. Peter lost the
Exactly.
damage.
So stuff you do in the overworld will affect battles, some negative, some positive. And it's up to you to figure out what you want to do. Do you want to do side quests? Maybe your mum has a cold. She's not the bad cold that's going to make her bad, but just a general cold. And you can make her better because you've got the healing powers.
Well, speaking of side quests, so we've had a question from the board. Do you perhaps defeat viruses by playing a Tetris-like falling block puzzle game with colour-coded capsules? I think you'll be all over that, John.
I would, but this Nintendo president hates mini games. He throws them to the ground.
No!
But you know what? We're going to use the Switch 2 mouse for that one particular mini game. We considered using the Switch 2 mouse as just a way to replace the stylus entirely, but then the president got angry. So yeah, just occasionally, yeah.
Okay, all right.
Are you not the president anymore?
Yeah, sometimes the president speaks in the third person.
Third person, yeah, good. Oh, good. He's filled with rage and obnoxious. So yes, I do. So we've got here a few more from the board. I do love the idea of curing misinformation. Are we going for a J. Jonah type or a full-blown sort of Trump parody? He does have range, yes, and psychic damage, yes. Oh, yes. Are we going for J. Jonah or how much are we leaning to sort of Trumpian dystopia? Yeah.
I think like Trumpy, yeah.
Wow.
Like a guy who thinks he's like the king of the world and he's just part of a local newspaper outlet.
Yeah, and has a really bad cold.
Excellent. If the board have any more questions, please start firing them into the chat as we wrap up John's pitch. Go on, Josh.
So how the designs in the Atlas games are generally pretty over the top for the enemies and stuff. If we're just fighting humans, are they just looking like humans but slightly ill, or are we for the mini bosses? Are we going like?
So
how bombastic are we going?
Your regular encounter will be like man but pale, but with a blanket around him because he's a bit cold. The mini bosses though,
Earthbound did it, man, and Earthbound did it pretty well.
True.
Yeah.
Mini bosses though, they are gonna go slightly higher than that. Mm-hmm. So instead of becoming like a demon, they are gonna radiate a color. So maybe they're angry from their illness and they're gonna radiate the color red. Maybe they're a bit anxious and they're gonna radiate the color blue. This wasn't as extreme as I was hoping it would be.
I'm not going to lie, John. Whoa. That doesn't sound that exciting. That just sounds like you've got more characters that have a slight tinge of a colour. I was thinking maybe more like a sort of physical manifestation of their illness, right? So if they're like super cold, maybe they're like a snot monster, or if they're constipated, maybe they're a big like solid turd. It's just something horrendous.
This is a family-friendly.
We're not so sure about those ideas, but it's probably a better track than a slight colour gradient.
Mitch here said Osmosis Jones style virus people. That does sound good. I'm going to ask a couple of questions before we flip it to the board. So do we have a title for this game?
Yeah, we do. It's called Trauma Center. I'm thinking of the title as I say it. I should have said I do now. Okay, all right. Trauma Center, curing misinformation.
Brilliant.
Oh,
I mean,
great. Rolls off the tongue.
Yeah, I don't know if it's that catchy, but it's good. And I've been told in no uncertain terms that the board disapproves of the solid turd. So that's me. That's my idea. Shut down for now.
We got two more board members' questions that are kind of related.
Yes. Well, I was about to say yes. So we've called it Trauma Center, and somebody says, is there much connection to the original Trauma Center, or is it a full kind of reboot and reimagining?
It's a full reboot. We're gonna have some of the charm in there, though. There's still gonna be that sort of soap opera feeling with a lot of whimsy to it. Yeah. We're gonna maintain the feling, but none of the characters though.
Because we have another question.
Derek Stiles won't be making a cameo then.
Yeah. No.
We're moving on from Derek Stiles.
I guess we are in Scotland. So.
Yeah, he's never been to Scotland, has he?
Maybe he took Angie there for a lovely holiday. Maybe, probably not.
Do you think Peter Capaldi's going to be up for this?
Yeah,
if you're really into the idea of playing a teenager,
he does have range, as our board have said. Somebody said, I'm not sure why I was imagining the Osmosis Jones situation where you enter their body. I mean, is there a point where you can enter somebody's body?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. No, not going to extrapolate on that. Brilliant. All right, we're short on time. Any more questions for John, Josh, or any more questions from the board?
What forces you to have a curfew?
Your parents. They'll be so
mad. They come find if you're not back at 10 o'clock, ready for bed.
Yeah, we're going to ground you, and you can't be grounded. You've got to cure people.
Are we talking like? Are we when they turn to the doctors? Are we saying like kind of like sexy persona outfits and things? Like, I mean, to be fair,
they wear a doctor's coat.
Yeah.
I mean,
stethoscope.
They just put a doctor's robe on.
Yeah, I mean they're all appropriately dressed doctors, so I think that's acceptable.
Yeah, I think so too.
We've got maybe one more question coming in. Let's have a look here. Tokyo Medicine Sessions. Excellent.
It's not bad. It's
Tokyo
Scottish medicine.
I like
session.
that.
I will give you that as an excellent suggestion for a name. I will give you the chance to change it, or do you want to stick with curing misinformation? Because Tokyo Medicine Sessions. Mwah.
It's
Tokyo
a good name, but we're in
Sessions.
Scotland.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Maybe. Thank you, Jason. Jason, I would have taken that, but maybe the sequel. Okay. There we go. So, John, that is your one, a sort of a persona-like one with teens who save the day. Yes, an RPG where you save the day instead of defeating monsters. Very good. I will quickly give my final pitch before we tie the show up. So, I have gone the kind of traditional route of bringing the game back. I'm calling it Trauma Center Emergency Room. Please, somebody give me a better name. It's boring, but I couldn't think of a good one.
Tokyo Medicine Sessions. TC.
Yeah, I should have just pretended I thought of that. Yes, mine is called Trauma Center Tokyo. No, it's not. But mine is a direct sequel from the Under the Knife games, and you play. Derek Stiles has set up an academy for people that have the healing touch to train people who are the sort of descendants of Asclepius, and this is a heavy mouse mode game. We are playing mouse mode. It's not 6. It's not as sort of bitty as it was before. It's 3 doctors, and you have a little taste of everything because they're sort of experimenting with what their healing powers can do. So you have the sort of traditional surgery that you had before, and obviously. The fun thing I thought about this is that, if you're doing surgery on somebody's leg, you could in real life put your mouse on somebody's leg and, just do the surgery almost in real life. I think the game would come packaged with a little, almost like what's it called, that board game with the buzzer when you're trying to get things.
Operation.
Operation. Yeah, you've got like a sort of
it comes with Operation.
Yeah, a sort of Atlas style Operation thing which you could put the mouse on, but you've got your right hand, which is kind of, or you could swap it if you're right or left-handed. You could select that at the start. That's doing the sutures and things. And maybe you're like cycling through what tools you need with your other hand. But the big thing for me is that there's also, God help me, John, I don't know what you've done to me, but there's kind of dating mechanics. I cannot believe that I'm saying this.
Someone else has done it.
I know. I kind of, and when I say, I kind of mean like dating / kind of friendship mechanics, right? And I think what it is, it's kind of about the relationships that you're forming with the other doctors. So, and a lot of the time people, when you see dating mechanics, what they want is they want like the best outcomes for the game and stuff. But I think what I want with this is I want, while you're doing the surgery, somebody could ask you a question and you've got 3 seconds to answer it, and you have to like flick the D-pad to one of 4 options. So you can't necessarily overthink your reactions. And there might be somebody who responds really well to solid instructions, one that you have to be polite with. And you have to kind of get to know the other doctors and have that in the back of your head, like, oh, how do I speak to this person while I'm doing the surgery? So you're not worried about acing it, right? Well, you're worried about, you're just like, you need to get the surgery done, but also in the back of your mind, like people do, you're thinking, I need to also have a good relationship with these people. And then, so people don't like get annoyed if they don't kind of ace it or whatever, you've got the on-call room, right? Where after a surgery, you go, you have a sleep in the on-call room like doctors do. And you can, if you want, have a dream, and you can replay the surgery in your head, and you can like use the opportunity to kind of think about the person you're talking to and go, oh, maybe I should have done it like this, and maybe I should have done it like that. And that can kind of help you understand how to grow the friendship and the kind of romantic side of it, if you want it to be romantic. And then you can go and choose to talk to the person after and say, hey, I'm sorry I did this, I should have done that. That way, if you want to get like the best outcome for the game, you don't have to worry about going back and kind of ruin the suspension of disbelief, as you're going through the game and resetting and doing old surgeries. You can kind of use it in that way that people do, where you go, I should have done this, I should have spoken to this person like this, I'll go and correct that. And as you develop these relationships, if you're close with somebody, maybe they pass you the if you say scalpel, they get you the scalpel, but the better relationship you have with them, they give it to you quicker, so you're not wasting time in the surgery, or they just predict what you need next. It gets to the point, it's like prediction, you unlock it, so they know what you need and it's coming in, so you're like always working on these relationships. And I quite like the idea from Trauma Team of different surgeries, but I don't want it to be too like you're doing this all the time, they're doing this all the time. One of them I thought would be, okay, you're going out with the paramedics today, and so you're using the HD rumble, and you have to do surgery on somebody's arm or something while you're racing to the hospital, but every so often the ambulance will hit a bump and they'll just go like, and you have to try and keep the mouse, the Joy-Con super still while you're doing it, just to kind of add that element there. I want the whimsy back, I want the ambulance to break down and you have to do surgery on the engine. Guilt 2.0 is the kind of new disease that's coming in, so you're working with Derek to eradicate it. The whole bioterrorism thing. I want all of that back, but I want it to be heavy on the mouse mode, a return to that kind of gameplay, and really leaning into the kind of what's the word? I think what was MEO Smiling Man? It's graphic novel. Visual novel.
Yeah, or adventure game.
Yeah, exactly. That kind of leaning into that and the relationship aspect of it, very much like a sort of Grey's Anatomy, if I'm being honest, of the kind of sensational, ridiculous surgery with the just the sort of the growing the relationship side of it. And that's my pitch. Developed by Atlas, of course. Questions from John and Josh and the board, please.
Yeah. So, Joy-Con mouse heavy.
Mm-hmm.
We're dual wielding? Are we dual wielding the mice?
100%. Now, there is an option to use just normal gamepad if you want. There will be ways to play it that way, but it's heavily encouraged to use the mice. And yes, definitely like you're using your dominant hand to kind of do the surgery, while the other hand selects your implements if you need it, or flicks how you want to chat to somebody. Can do, maybe that does the healing touch if you need it with your other hand. It definitely integrates both hands in there, definitely.
what about like multitasking 2 mini games at once? Like one hand is on a steering wheel, other one is doing surgery on a guy on your lap.
Yes,
or something.
absolutely.
In the passenger
Yes,
seat.
because all the different things that you're doing, right? All the different surgery that you're doing have to like get more difficult. Like there will be slower surgeries where you're like reconstructing a bone, so it's not 100 miles an hour all the time. You know, that's precision gameplay and delicate. But yeah, you know, it gets to the point where you've got a really like hollow bone or something ridiculous, and you have to use both to kind of really gently place it. Or somebody said, good chance to introduce the disease strife. 100% taking that. It's not guilt. Maybe it's guilt 2.0. Maybe it's strife. Guilt 2.0 remorse. Very good. But yes, we're implementing. So maybe strife is a new one. And you know, there are bioterrorists, and they shoot the ambulance driver. So you have to, with one hand, steer the ambulance, while with the other one, you know, extract the bullet and add the antibiotic gel and suture up the wound. Definitely dual wielding those mice. Yes, 100%. Josh, you had a question for me.
Yeah, I was going to read off some of the board's questions for you.
Oh, go, please do.
Wave to mine. So, in Ring Fit, the Joy-Con can be used to measure your own heartbeat.
Well, that uses the IR camera, which is gone.
Does it
now.
use the IR camera
does.
for that, or does it use? Damn. But can we use HD Rumble for something to replicate?
Maybe.
Well, we've got it. Yeah,
like,
we've got it for
the heartbeat of a. Because if you're not measuring your own heartbeat, you're measuring the patient's heartbeat, right?
Brilliant.
So could you use HD Rumble?
I feel like
you can feel the pulse.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure there's a bit in Under the Knife where you have to like you can't use the defib for some reason, so you have to like massage. You can do that thing where you like massage somebody's heart,
Massage
right?
your heart.
Definitely. So you've got like that HD rumble of like you're feeling for the beats, and you have to push it you have to like click at a certain point or something. But 100%, you know, using those HD rumble to kind of get these really intense feelings while you're creating these surgeries. Definitely, it's a great idea.
Yeah. So another question from Hyperbola.
I think it's Johnny.
Could the Dream Thing also let you retry surgeries as well as?
I think so. I think if you want to practice, maybe you have the option, right? Maybe if you want to grow your relationships and understand how you could have done it better, you have the option to have that dream. Or if you want to really focus on just being the best doctor, you know, focus on the surgeries and you replay them, and you unlock your own not an actual skill tree, but like you unlock those skills for yourself, as opposed to growing those relationships. So there are a few different paths through the game, and you explore that game how you want to. Do you want to be the best doctor? Do you want to have the best relationships and make the best team? Yeah, I think that's a really good idea.
Any Switch 2 camera features?
Like what?
Yeah, put your spouse's face on a surgery. But no, that'd be horrible. And I've also seen as well, will the vitality sensor get resurrected? They could sell. Didn't the Wii have that patent for one that never got released? Right, the little finger.
They showed
That is
it
the
at
vitality
E3
center.
one year, didn't they?
Yeah. That's coming back.
There's the vitality sensor.
They've got
Yeah.
they got Switch money now. That's coming back. It's boxed in game. Switch 2 camera features. Yeah. Do you know what? Yeah, I reckon if you can put like your arm in front of the camera, and then maybe we could do something really clever with the pad. I've got it. This is a special mission, right? If you've got a camera. So this is like not DLC, but it's accessible. Kind of like stuff was locked behind Amiibo. If you've got a camera, somebody can stand in front of it, and if you've got the packaged mouse pad with it, you are operating a robot because they're too infected with strife. So it shows them, and you're doing it on the pad, but you're operating a robot, and you can kind of watch the screen to see what the robot is doing on them. A bit creepy, but also like I reckon that would be like a viral thing. Like watch me operate on my spouse, you know, and you post those things up online. Yeah. That enjoyable pastime we all know and love.
I thought of a second one. So in Welcome Tour, there's a camera mini game where it shows that the camera can read your facial expressions and map them onto a 3D model. And in Welcome Tour, it's like a smiley face. And so if you move your mouth up, the face will be a smile. Right. So what about a mini game? Well, you've got a queue of patients, and you're like they're the spouses of all the people you've been working on, and you've got to deliver the info. Like, is this person's husband okay? That means no. Is this person's wife okay?
I think
that means yes.
I think I'm going to leave the crushing misery of a real hospital to Josh. I think I'm maintaining the whimsy for this game. I'm sorry, but no, I'm not putting in delivering horrific. The characters will, of course, but I'm not making the player go like, to say that they've got bad news. I mean, some of the board members are saying they love it, and somebody has also pitched self-surgery with a camera, which I do love, operating on yourself. Yeah. Very nice idea.
Can you imagine going to the doctors though and being like, "Is my wife okay?" And instead of like any, just
doing a little tear, like, "Oh, so sad." Yes, definitely optional games for cameras, and I would love to take more questions, but we are out of time. So there you have it, 3 pitches for bringing back the Trauma Center series. But do you like Josh's hyper-realistic Trauma Center, consultancy, pharmaceutical concerns, surgery? This all-encompassing game is broken into minigame style tasks showing how hard life in a hospital is. Downtime sees you take on more minigames, finding collectibles or buying clothes before being called in to your tasks yet again. Developed by Atlas, this is shown through the eyes of several doctors in a gripping story. Or do you like John's persona-like Trauma Center, curing misinformation? just sticks in the brain. Playing as 16s, this is Shin Megami Tensei, but with the power of healing. Find elemental weaknesses like plasters on bleeding wounds. This traditional RPG turns the tables on what's expected, seeing you save the day through saving lives as your doctor's disguise second life. That'll do it. Or do you like George's Atlas-developed Trauma Center Emergency Room? A return to the original formula with heavy use of mouse controls, the healing touch, and dating mechanics. Build up a team of doctors to combat Guilt 2.0 or Strife and save the day by taking on a myriad of different exciting surgeries. Or do you have a better idea yourself? Let us know in the comments below. If you've enjoyed the show, please do like and subscribe. It'll help us to grow. You can join us on Patreon. Our patrons have been with us today. Thank you so much for joining us. We will have a live recording each month where you can join in, you can be the board, and you can ask questions. Or if you want to be a free member, you can just come along, join in with the quiz and listen along with us. We post bloopers there every week too. And you can join our Discord where we'll be setting up some gaming sessions hopefully soon. I'll put links to all of us on BlueSky. You can find us there too. But in the meantime, John, thank you very much for being with us today.
Thank you, sir.
Josh, thank you for being with us too.
No, thank you for everyone else for being here with us.
Yes, thank you so much to our patrons who support us. We appreciate it so much. And of course, thank you to you for listening. But for now, that's game over. Goodbye.